Now, matriculants across the country are preparing for what could be the most important exam of their lives. Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi has just outlined the province's readiness to hold the exams. It starts on the 16th of October and runs until the 28th of next month. Our reporter Slindelo Masikane is there and joins us now. Slee, I'm told that you've got the man in the hot seat himself. Take it away.
Certainly, Apple, yes, we are here at the head offices of the Gauteng Education Department. And as you'd know, that Gauteng, in fact, is the province, and I must quote the MEC on this, that are the defending champions as we head into the final exams for the matriculants of 2019. And as the numbers stand, we've got over 111,000 full-time candidates that have been registered and over 41,000 part-time candidates registered for this year's final examinations. This is more than 4,000 that were registered in 2018. I'm going to bring in MEC Panyaza Lesufi. MEC, to quote you, you said you are combat ready for this year's matric exams. Just give us a little bit more about that.
Indeed, we are combat ready as defending champions to defend the crown, but to ensure that we've got almost 111,000 learners that we are giving them an opportunity of a lifetime. For them to succeed in life, they have to go through this examination. So we have to prepare it. We have to ensure that the examination is fair. We have to ensure that the invigilation is very strong. You know, nowadays we are fighting technology. Learners come with watches that are not necessarily watches. They are watches that you can Google, you can take a photo and send a message and ask someone to send your answer. So our invigilators are very, very strict, and we have trained them. And we're also aware that there are some examination centers that try to cheat the system. We've taken over as a head office to monitor those invigilation, those examination centers. So we are quite ready. I think we really believe that our children are ready. We've prepared them. We've invested in them. So they must just go there and make us proud.
You highlighted a number of risk areas, and one in particular, El Dorado Park, around matriculants in that particular secondary school having to now move to a camp. What are the issues, and do we have more than one particular area that's affected in this particular manner?
Well, learners at El Dorado Park Secondary School have not had proper education for the last 3 months. It's a worrying thing. We tried to persuade parties that are involved in this dispute, but we have reached a stage where we feel that the future of our children is at stake. So from tomorrow, we are removing all our grade 12 from that school. We are taking them to camp, and we are getting new teachers to teach them, because they've not been taught for the last 3 months. So you can imagine if they have to go and write the examination, and they wrote preliminary examinations, that is a determining factor whether they are ready or not. Those scripts have not been marked by teachers. They don't have report cards for those trial examinations. So they're in the dark. So it's very, very important not to take a risk. And that's the reason tomorrow morning we are pulling them out of that school and take them to camp. Fortunately for now, it's the only school that we have flagged as a risk. But we are also monitoring some of our independent schools in our province.
Are they not starting off, though, on a back foot? 3 months of not being taught properly, how are they expected to then adequately prepare for their final exams? I'm
emotionally demoralized, to be quite frank. I've been working very hard behind the scene to fix the problem. We even persuaded the teacher union involved not to go on a strike, because the teacher union wanted to go on a strike to sympathize with the educators. We've also persuaded the community to reach a compromise position, but unfortunately they've rejected the compromise position, and that is why we feel that we can't continue with the squabbles of adults while children are suffering. So the only way is to remove the matriculants, take them to camp, and then put intervention mechanism for grade 8 and grade 11s that are remaining at the school, so that at least they can catch up.
And what are the chances of Gauteng actually maintaining or improving their percentage from last year's result? I know that you are aiming at around 90%.
It's a huge mandate, but we believe that we must do it. Whose child must fail? Whose child must not succeed in life? So we are putting all the resources. So if we can get 90%, we really believe it will be a huge boost, because it means that out of 10 students, 9 will pass. And out of that 9, we are convinced that they will progress to higher education institutions. So it will really, really be a major boost. If we can't really equip our young people with skills, as a country, we're not going to succeed. Remember, to get this country right, we must get education right. And that is why we are making all the relevant noises to ensure that our children are equipped. And we have invested on an online curriculum program, and that online curriculum program makes learners to get the lessons at the palm of their hands. So they've got a teacher 24 hours. Parents can access it, and learners can access it. You've got videos, you've got animation, 3D animation. So we are making this investment so that our children can succeed in life, because if they succeed, the country will succeed.
And lastly, you spoke about your support for that exit grade 9 certificate, which you said isn't really an exit certificate, but gives learners more options.
Well, we are one country that has a skewed education outcomes. If you check developing countries like Germany, Singapore, South Korea, countries that are doing well, majority of their children go to technical institutions rather than universities or academic institutions. So we've got 80% of our children going to universities and 20% going to technical or vocational institutions. That must change. So the introduction of the grade 9 certificate lay a firm foundation for that future, where not necessarily everyone must go to universities, that we must create an environment where children can go to TVET colleges or can go to institutions that are providing vocational support. And if we do that as a country, I really believe that we'll prosper.
Lastly, you spoke about one examination, which is something you've been speaking about for a number of years, that we cannot have a continuation of the IEB and NSC exams.
You can't have in one country an examination for the privileged, an examination for the poor. In one country, you have two examinations for the same children, because these children go to the same university. We don't have a university for IEB learners or a university for National Senior Certificate learners. So it disadvantages the poor. If we feel IEB is the correct and proper examination, let our children write all of it. Let they write that examination. But you can't have a country having different examination for the same constituency, that is matriculants, because those that are writing a perceived privileged one are the ones that get opportunities first in terms of placement in universities, in terms of bursaries. Those are writing an examination that is seen not as proper. They then have to fill the remaining spaces. I really feel it's unfair. We are one democratic country. Let's give all these children one opportunity, because they go to the same university and they go to the same job market. So why discriminate them on the basis of the examination that they need to write?
Thank you so much. All right, that is MEC Panyaza Lesufi from the head offices of the Gauteng Education Department.
Slindilo Masekane, my colleague there with the MEC for Education in Gauteng, thank you very much.